First Congressional District Executive Committee should be presided over by the chairman. I believe we do. You first of all can't make a motion when the meeting hasn't been called to order. And the meeting should be called to order by one of the officers. And I believe the chairman is on the phone here. And in the absence of the chairman, it would be the vice chairman.
They won't let me in the meeting room. I'm in the waiting room.
Yes, that is correct. It is presided over by the elected officers of that executive committee. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. No, that's not what I say. This would be no different than if Stephen tried to open up the Dorchester County Republican Party meeting and some people on the executive committee wanted to take over and preside over the meeting. That's not the way it works. There is. Well, first of all, you have to establish that there's been a vacancy in the chairmanship. When was that done? I'm sorry, Yeah. The chairman is Cynthia Jones. She was elected at the convention.
Okay, so we're not seated. They are not delegates any longer, and that is settled, and it's now history.
No, what was settled was at the convention, the election was held. There was no contesting of any of the Credentials Committee report, and an election was held. And at that convention, a chairman, a vice chairman, and a secretary were elected as officers of the First Congressional District.
You're revisiting history.
I'm not revisiting history, I'm living in current reality. You are claiming something has happened. When exactly did you guys usurp the authority of the members of the First Congressional District who participated in an election on April 13th to elect their officers?
Did you not get the letter from the...
I did not get any letter from the Rules Committee, from the State Executive Committee, or contact from anyone else on the First Congressional District Executive Committee.
Can I have it?
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Did you get Chairman Gervais' letter and the Rules Committee letter?
I did not.
About this matter that came from the South Carolina Republican Party?
I did not, and the Rules Committee doesn't have the authority to make a decision. That is a decision that's reserved for the body. They can make a recommendation all they want. When did the State Executive Committee...
Charleston got an analysis situation. Our convention elected somebody who is not eligible to serve as our state executive committee man. The state, similar, declared that election was invalid.
Andrew, the chairman who was elected, is otherwise eligible to serve. I don't know what you're talking about.
Go back where?
On your computer, so you can see who's talking.
It's disconnecting because I'm on the phone.
Are you saying that I haven't assumed the office of vice chairman? Look, I'm not going to go into what may have happened at the Charleston County. I'm dealing with what happened in the election in which I was involved and the convention that I attended. The Rules Committee is not a decision-making body. The Rules Committee does not have the authority. So did the State Executive Committee hold an executive committee meeting and make a motion and vote that Cynthia? They do not, and Stephen Wright, you know that I asked you this question. The Rules Committee does not have the authority to make the decision. They can make the recommendation, but the body itself has to be the one that takes the vote. I did not get the letter from Chairman McKissick or the Rules Committee or anybody else, nor did I get the invitation for this meeting this evening from anybody else.
Well, the purpose purpose of today's meeting is to decide who, we're gonna vote on who's supposed to be our chairman.
We already have a chairman and there is no vacancy. To my knowledge, I've not received a resignation letter from Cynthia Jones, nor has she moved out of the district.
And I was pretending.
Mr. Lee, I'm going to interject here and say something. And I want to speak for a minute, and I don't want to be interrupted. Is that okay with you?
This body is not in order because it has not been called to order.
You've been talking a lot. Is it okay for me to speak for a minute or two?
Who's speaking? Because I can't see who is there.
It's Terry Gardner.
Okay, Terry?
Okay? The first district, first congressional district is under the auspices of the South Carolina Republican Party and is overseen by the State Executive Committee. The State Executive Committee has duly authorized a rules committee. They have been voted on. They meet on a periodic basis over rules, and they make decisions of whether rules have been violated or not. That's the way that we have operated for decades.
The Rules Committee, Terry, does not have decision-making authority.
I don't want to be interrupted by you in an argument.
That took 22 seconds, Lee. Jim, you didn't let him speak for 22 seconds before interrupting him. If we're going to be people here trying to have a meeting and you're running out here, this needs to stop.
Go ahead, Terry.
As I said, the Rules Committee meets under the auspices of the South Carolina Executive Committee. And if you don't believe in what I'm saying, I can read the rules to you. I've got them pulled up.
I have them pulled up as well.
We actually try to operate by rules, because when we operate by rules, we don't run into problems. And we had a rules issue, and the person that was nominated at the convention was not qualified because the person who nominated her had vacated their position. So the Rules Committee met and declared her the position vacant because her election wasn't valid.
Was
They could
her,
have said I won.
may I ask you a question?
They could have said I won, but they didn't do that. They actually have ruled, the proper ruling is that the chair position is vacant.
No.
Was the nomination seconded?
Doesn't make any difference.
Yes, it does.
It does if the person who seconded is a valid delegate.
You want to go back and litigate what the Rules Committee has done. And this is not the place to do that. If you want to do that at the Executive Committee meeting, at the next Executive Committee meeting.
Did the State Executive Committee meet and make a decision based on the recommendation of the Rules Committee? Because the Rules Committee does not have the authority to exercise that opinion. It's a recommendation to the Executive Commission.
We, the people, vote.
Jim, I'm on the Rules Committee. You are correct. We don't take action. We make recommendations.
Right.
That's why this meeting has been called to order, because we are acting in response to the recommendation of the committee.
Okay, and your recommendation, Stephen, is it to the South Carolina GOP Executive Committee or to the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee?
The first Congressional District Executive Committee.
Thank you for clarifying that. So this is a meeting of the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee. And that committee needs to make a decision as to whether or not to accept the opinion of the Rules Committee.
You've got one of them up, Jim. You got the phone on and you got the CD on, the computer on.
I think that was Joe Callahan.
Can you hear me now? You're in the room with him.
Yeah, we can hear you, Joe.
All right, so we've established that this is a meeting of the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee. And it was a special called meeting.
Oh, wait. Joe, if you can mute. Are you and Lee in the same room, Joe?
Yes.
I'm muted.
Okay, that's what's going on. You can't both be unmuted at the same time.
And Victoria, just to be clear, my name is Jim. Lee is my last name.
Oh, I'm sorry, thank you.
Not a problem. All right, so we've established that this special called meeting of the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee has been called. It wasn't called by the chairman. So it had to have been called by 5 or more of the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee members. Who were those 5?
Me, Shirley.
Who's
Go
that?
ahead, Steve. Yeah, the 5 chairmen that make up the 1st Congressional District.
No, there's.
There are 6 counties, so which wasn't included?
They have to think about it.
There only needs to be 5.
Only needs, yeah.
Yeah, there's.
Well, I realize that, but you're saying it was all of the county chairmen, so,
No, it didn't say that.
Okay.
5 people, that's what.
Yes.
yes, so who were the 5
It
people?
was me, Victoria, Kevin, Andrew, and Miss Wild.
That's
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
he was
And did you notice? Mhm. Go ahead.
This is Paula Tisdale, Paladin County. I just want to ask a question. I mean, I'm still learning. Thank you for letting me before the call. It just seems like it would be appropriate under the circumstances of everything that happened. Couldn't we call another district-wide congressional meeting so that people can vote again?
It's actually deliberating, but we haven't gotten to that point yet because we haven't started the meeting.
Right, because I would argue that there is as yet not a vacancy. You're saying that we were called to the special meeting here to hear the recommendation of the Rules Committee and to make a determination as to whether or not you think we should nullify the election at convention that elected Cynthia Jones as chairman of the 1st Congressional
I
District.
don't know who told, yeah, Jim, I don't know who told you that. The purpose of this meeting is to fulfill the responsibility of the executive committee under the rules, which is the vacancies shall be filled by the district executive committee.
There, first of all, has to be a vacancy.
Okay, so listen, we're in a circular argument, but we have a duly called meeting by 5 people.
All right.
And we need to proceed with the meeting.
All right, and if I'm going to chair the meeting, then I will preside over the meeting as the officer.
You know, the 5 people have called the meeting.
That doesn't mean that you preside over the meeting. Read the rules.
Stephen Wright as the temporary chair.
That's out of order. That is out of order. I'm sorry, but your motion is out of order. The vice chairman, in the absence of the chairman, will preside over the meeting.
That's not what it says.
That's exactly what it says, and go look at any other meeting conducted under Robert's rules, and you will find that that's the case.
So this is the problem. Robert's rules make it really clear. In the event there's no that or other private Tennessee rules, then Robert's rules proceed everything. But in this case, SCGOP has rules. But don't always use Robert's rules. We already have SCGOP rules. SCGOP rules make it really clear. If somebody nominated 16-C, there's not even but they take up position. So it doesn't have to go through an appeal process. It's just vacating it.
All of that is interesting, but it's completely irrelevant at this point. This is a special called meeting. It is a special called meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have now been elected as the chair of this meeting.
Stephen, you cannot do that because I have not left the chair.
We have a motion to open this meeting.
Stephen, I have not left the chair. That is not a valid motion. That is out of order.
You were never the chair.
I was the vice chair in the absence of the chairman.
Are you still vice chair?
I'm still vice chairman, and in the absence of a chairman, I will preside over this meeting.
I will absolutely acknowledge that you're vice chair. Hang on a minute. We have a chairman. We have a chairman of the South Carolina Republican Party. He did not preside at the last meeting.
That at a convention. This is not a convention, this is a meeting, a special called meeting of the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee.
And this meeting can elect somebody to preside over it.
You cannot usurp the authority of the officers who were elected by the body to put them in place.
And you cannot usurp the authority of the South Carolina Republican Party Executive Committee, which is what you're trying to do.
No, I'm still waiting to see any evidence that the South Carolina GOP Executive Committee ever met and voted to vacate the chairman of the 1st Congressional District.
Never
I'll go back to that. Okay, I'm speaking, sorry. Can I, Stephen, say something? Mr. Boucher is recognized. Thank you. The Rules Committee does not go to a vote of the State Executive Committee, because the Rules Committee ruled that it's a self-executing rule. That's correct. It immediately invalidates the election of the chair.
That completely counters what Mr. Wright just said.
Ineligible, I have the floor, and I would ask the chair if we need to do disciplinary procedures for someone who is not following Robert's rules. That is a self-executing rule, dumps the election invalid automatically. It does not require a vote of the State Executive Committee.
As a point of order, I would point out that that is not the case here. So it's moot. Mr. Wright pointed out that the Rules Committee does not have the authority to execute, only to recommend.
The Rules Committee interpreted Rule 16 to determine that it is self.
Rule 16 does not apply here.
Of course, that's all you've been arguing about.
No, I haven't brought up Rule 16 at all. I'm trying to establish.
You've argued about it.
All right, let me try and make this clear. This is a special called meeting of the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee. 5 people have asked for a special called meeting. That meeting is to be presided by the chair of the 1st Congressional District.
And I'm in the way.
Ostensibly, the purpose was to discuss the chairman. In the absence of the chairman, the first vice chair will preside over the meeting.
No, you have to.
Can I interject something here, please? Please? It's Dennis Brown, King Charleston County. Under the rules of the SCGOP, it says until a duly elected chairman is elected, that the chairman should stay in his post. So we do not have a duly elected chairman.
We elected one at convention.
And no,
We have a chairman that I'm speaking. We have a chairman who is in his post, and under the rules, it says the chairman should stay in his post
no appeals.
until we have a duly elected chairman. So essentially,
I'll tell you this.
I'm not done.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dennis.
We have a rule that is self-inflicted. The you automatically vacate your position under the rule. And we have another rule that says that we have no chairman, that the past chairman stays at the helm until the chairman is elected. So it's not the vice chairman. He sits at the head of the table. It's the chairman. They have a table. And so we have a duly elected chairman. Our current chairman is Terry Hurst.
No, the previous chairman was Peggy Bangor.
Correct. Actually, that's correct, Jim. I was elected temporary chair by this executive committee.
When did that occur?
Prior to convention, you weren't on this committee then.
Of the convention only. Of the convention.
I'm sorry, when did,
Anybody who was in that meeting, am I incorrect?
Of the convention.
No, you were very correct. You were very correct. You were elected.
when did that meeting take place?
It doesn't make any difference. Who opened up the first district convention?
May I say something?
Let Joe say something.
Yes, Joe, but whenever you speak, we just need Jim to mute those feedback.
Am I still connected? I'm the State Executive Committeeman from Dorchester County. If and when they elected Terry to be temporary chairman, I wasn't even involved in that. I wasn't invited. I wasn't invited to any of the planning sessions for the Congressional District Convention, So I don't know Terry is the acting, chairman. I was cut out of the loop. No.
No.
Hey, I could have zoomed you in the hospital if that was the case. I was cut out of that whole process and not even an email saying what was going on. Secondly, Cynthia Jones was elected by credentialed delegates to the first district, and she won the second ballot, okay, by seven votes. Are we going to disenfranchise those people from the congressional district that took this Saturday off, came there, did their duty as a Republican, and voted for Cynthia Jones to be the chairwoman, and because of extraneous circumstances that had nothing to do with Cynthia, she's getting booted out? Because the SCGOP didn't like the results of that convention. Since when do we go after the convention is held, people have voted in, and then we go digging up dirt on them? Are we digging up dirt on everyone that was at the SCGOP convention on Saturday? Are we checking to make sure there's no skeleton Democrats that were at that convention? No, because you guys liked the results. You didn't like the results of the CD1 convention. But that's the way the people voted. And now you're changing horses in midstream. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I've seen the SCGOP do this over and over again. Jeff Davis, like him or hate him, he was escorted out because people didn't like him for whatever. I had no idea who Jeff Davis was, and I'm supposed to vote on kicking the man out of that meeting. I had no idea, and you guys kicked him out. The same thing with the lady that was the chairman in Lexington. Her people in her county voted for her, and you disenfranchised all those voters. In 2 years, if she's that bad and Davis is that bad, they'll kick him out. It's not for us to kick him out. So I'm fed up with this whole thing, because I think, and then you guys want to say all the time, let's grow the party. Who the hell wants to join the party when you see processes like this?
Here, Colton County. It's now 7:32 for a 7 o'clock meeting. This has been settled. Can we please start?
Start what?
Second, David.
Start what? This meeting hasn't been officially called by the duly elected vice chairman of the district. And if anything, Cynthia Jones should be calling this meeting, because as far as I know, she is the chairman of CD1.
Devin, hold on a second for me, please. Stephen, may I be recognized?
She's taken over.
This right here, Robert's Rules of Order.
Now they're back to Robert's Rules.
The only thing we need to discuss right now is getting this meeting going. Page 12, what happens at a meeting? The key order, one person is chosen to preside over the meeting. This person enforces the rules and designates who is to speak. We've done that, we need to get the meeting going. And that's what we need to do at this time. Stephen, please, you've been nominated and seconded and voted on. You're, chairing this special meeting, because Terry is, our sitting chair.
No.
And has to take a little bit of a step back on this topic, I guess. Otherwise, Terry, you would be chairing the meeting? Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
So, can we proceed, everybody? And we're not gonna relitigate Lexington, we're not gonna relitigate Greenville. Those were ruled on by the Rules Committee, voted on by the EC Committee. Those things are done. There's no point in this conversation about this. We all have lives to lead. That is for another day over a glass of wine.
But the chairman,
You're not gonna win by me.
the chairman,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
the chairman is Cynthia Jones.
I think the floor, Stephen.
Okay, we'll accept a motion if the body wishes to move forward at this time. So moved.
Okay. Dennis, second, thank you.
I'd like to discuss it.
We've been discussing it for half an hour.
Well, then maybe you should hang up.
I move that we call the question, Stephen.
We haven't had any discussion.
We've been discussing it for 34 minutes.
We're
29.
Yeah, the motion's been called. So we vote on whether the motion's called.
I'm sorry, what was the motion that was on the floor?
You call the question
What was the motion that was on the floor?
to begin the meeting. With Stephen chairing the meeting.
No.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
No.
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 All right, the ayes have it.
Of course they do. They even count the no's.
No.
All right, we will move forward to the business of this meeting. Anyone wish to speak?
I wish to speak.
Jim Lee?
So the meeting invitation that was not sent to me within 24 hours of the meeting only said this was to discuss a vacancy. There is no vacancy. So what is the purpose of this meeting?
Jim, I think we discussed this for 35 minutes now. The purpose of this meeting is the Rules Committee made a recommendation that Cynthia Jones was nominated by an unqualified delegate. Therefore, it is up to this body to determine how to resolve that issue.
But
That's our recommendation.
her nomination was seconded by a duly qualified candidate, or a credentialed candidate.
But Stephen, they were credentialed, and they were accepted. Charleston County said they were legitimate delegates. How could they be illegitimate?
Stephen,
Dennis is on the call.
Stephen, I want to make the motion to nominate Terry Hardesty
Oh
as
my
chair
gosh.
of the first.
Oh my gosh, you can't do that without the people.
I second.
No.
We have a motion and a second. Any further nominations?
I nominate Jim Lee as chairman, as I would have done at convention had Cynthia not even run.
Okay, we have a nomination for Jim. Do we have a second?
Joe. Joe.
Oh, I second the motion.
Joe Kelly seconds. Any further nominations for this position? Okay, I think that the best way to resolve this is I'll go through the bowl and just let us know how you wish to vote. So we have two nominations, one for Terry Hardesty and one for Jim Lee.
Stephen, I have a point of order.
Take the vote to the body.
Has to go to the
What's
bottom.
your point of order?
Just go to this body.
This is not a situation to fill a vacancy where the chairman has resigned or left or found otherwise unqualified to serve. And to do this through the executive committee rather than going back in front of the entire convention body and allow them to elect their chairman would be wrong.
Can I make a point?
Disenfranchising voters again.
All in the convention. That was one of the rules. That in their convention.
I renew my objection to that conclusion by the Rules Committee and the acceptance by the 1st Congressional District Executive Committee.
Chairman, can I make a point?
Show Dan.
Yeah. I'm reading SCGOP Rule 6F3. Oh, sorry, S2. District office vacancy shall be filled by the district
I mean, it's not
executive
vacant.
committee.
I mean, it's not vacant.
And that's the body
I haven't
and
received
the Zoom
it.
call
It's
today.
not vacant.
But the point is, there is no vacancy. You're basically nullifying the election that occurred at convention. It's not a vacancy.
Waiting.
This committee is not nullifying anything.
You're declaring that the duly elected vote that took place.
Bring this meeting to order, please.
A demand, you don't know. No.
Yeah.
You
The
judge.
discussion is over. It's time to vote.
The discussion is not over. I renew my objection to this kangaroo court approach to dealing with this.